Sergeant O'Brien, Sergeant Williams. Yeah. You're ready, Tim. Good morning, everyone. This is Mayor Sean Patterson Howard, and we are coming to you live on this wonderful, kind of rainy and overcast Monday from our new Aware Room here in the city of Mount Vernon. The Aware Room is basically our real-time crime center. We are in partnership with Motorola. It is a Motorola-powered solution here. And the Aware Room really focuses on bringing technology through license plate readers, through community cameras, through crime cameras, through cameras that we have in parks and DPW areas and throughout neighborhoods here in the city. And they will be live feeds here into the Aware Room. I'm standing this morning with our Interim Commissioner of Police, David Gibson, our Chief of Police, Marcel Olifiers, our City Council President, Danielle Brown, and our City Council woman, Caitlin Gleason, who went down to New York City and different places to see the Aware Room in New York City and came back excited about it. We have our Comptroller Morton, who always works with us to find and identify the monies and pull it all together. We have our Commissioner Bush and his team. They worked on the transformation and the build out of this room. Our Commissioner Perez of Management Services, or our Chief Technology Officer, who helped to pull together all of the technology solutions. And we have Mr. Rabati from Motorola Solutions. He's the Senior Solutions Specialist, and he's going to speak on this morning. But before we get started, I also wanted to acknowledge, because we might be the head and the leaders, but then you have your boots on the ground people who are bringing this into fruition. And so we have our Lieutenant Janie McKinney. She's the commanding officer for the detective division, Janie McKinney, commanding officer for the detective division. We have our Sergeant Curtis O'Brien, and he leads our intelligence team here in the city of Mount Vernon, and he will oversee the operations of the Aware Room. And we have our Sergeant Ronnie Williams, and he has been the project manager up until this time in coordinating all of the departments and bringing the Aware Room to fruition. And so I'm just going to start with a few brief remarks and then hand it over to our Comptroller Morton and to our City Council President Brown. So public safety clearly is the foundation of any thriving community, and it's no different than here in Mount Vernon. And in Mount Vernon, we're not just reacting to crime, but we are trying to reimagine public safety, focusing on people, making sure that we're purposeful and that we're utilizing technology. This administration has always been committed to proactive, transparent, and accountable policing that centers on trust. Whew. Thank you.
Not an electrical issue.
That centers on trust, equity, and community collaboration. And today we are proud to unveil Mount Vernon's Aware Room. This is a $1.8 million investment in 21st century policing. And so again, we're not defunding the police. We're just doing things a little bit differently through technology and partnership. This advanced command center puts real-time data, video, and AI tools together directly into the hands of our dispatchers, our officers, our detectives, which enables faster, smarter, and safer responses. With the Aware Room, we are expanding our use of body-worn cameras, license plate readers, dashboard cameras, storefront video systems, street and crime cameras, to create a really comprehensive network of safety and transparency. We're grateful to our partnership with Motorola Solutions, a national leader in public safety technology, and then some of our other local vendors like ESS, who are actually doing the installing throughout the community. Their expertise helped us to modernize our public safety infrastructure, connect our tools, and build an integrated response system. This collaboration empowers Mount Vernon to lead in how small cities use big technology to protect our people. Small cities using big technology, I mean, that's key. Public safety is a shared responsibility. It's not just the police, but also these tools and community partnerships and connection. That's why the City of Mount Vernon will also soon announce a new business camera program aimed at enhancing public safety by requiring certain business establishments to install videos. And then we will use a hub to help connect those videos here to this real-time crime center. But we'll wait until that big day happens so we can have a separate press conference to give you more details. This initiative is designed to protect the health, safety, and general welfare of our community through increased visibility and accountability. The program will be useful to target local businesses to connect their security systems to the Aware Room for real-time crime responses. This overall initiative enhances safety in high-traffic areas and supports our businesses and our community in creating a secure environment for workers and customers alike. Now, we did launch and announce the launch of our community, our residential camera program. Residential cameras are not directly linked, so I just want to make sure we're clear about that so that the people who took the residential and who are getting the residential cameras know that we are not looking to directly link those cameras here, but more community-based, business-based, public spaces-based cameras here. With expanded surveillance, real-time monitoring, and intelligent analytics, we're reducing crimes of opportunity and increasing response effectiveness. These tools do not replace human judgment. Let me say this again. These tools do not replace human judgment. We still have our detective team, our patrol division, and our leadership who will be out there making sure that they're utilizing these tools as tools to be more efficient and productive, but they will not replace human judgment. As your mayor, please be clear that I'm committed to ensuring not only the safety of our residents, but their trust in our public institutions. This is about transparency, it's about officer safety, it's about civil rights and community well-being. When you don't have things like this in place, we can pray. But while we're praying, we also know sometimes that other people are praying and looking to take advantage of where we don't have eyes, where we don't have police officers. We can't have police officers on every corner, on every street, sitting on every doorstep and in every business, but this helps us move that safety forward. So today marks a new era for Mount Vernon, one where safety, innovation, and community trust go hand in hand. So I want to thank you to our public safety team, our partners at Motorola, our partners in government, and the community for making this transformation possible, and of course, our wonderful police staff who do the hard work every day. And with that being said, I'm going to pull up our comptroller because I know he has to run, and then we'll do our city council president. Thank you. Comptroller Morton.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. First of all, good morning. This is a good day for Mount Vernon. Anytime that we can move the city forward, advance the services, technology, and the collaborations, it is always a good day. We want to thank, of course, the mayor and her team and the leadership. We want to thank, of course, our Commissioner Gibson and his team and their leadership. Because oftentimes, especially today, we always hear that there are not enough resources for our police officers, for our public safety, and there's always this undertone that there is a lack of care about what it is that they do. We recognize that these men and women put their lives on the line every day, and that the complexity of policing today is such that it needs all of the advantages. And as fast as you implement is as fast as the things change. And so we are excited about this new Aware Room. We're excited about what it means for the people of Mount Vernon, what it means for safety, and what it means for our connectivity in Mount Vernon. We also want to accentuate the importance of collaboration at all levels of government and community organizations. This particular project has come to life because there has been a collaboration among a number of entities in Mount Vernon, entities across the state, but even from the standpoint of my office, where there is so little resources, that we often try to find avenues in order to be able to bring in new resources. And so this is a product of collaboration with the state and being able to also have the New York State LETEC grant. It's a collaboration with our office and with the City Council in the approval of bond anticipation notes that allow us to be able to use some of that money to be able to purchase cameras and be able to be a part of the build out, to be able to also help with the upgrades of our facilities, meaning the police headquarters. And so when oftentimes there's these questions around why do we do what we do, and why do we go out and get things like grants, and we go out and we seek after things like bans and bonds. We do that because not always is the cash quickly available. And so sometimes you have to have, there's such thing as bad debt and good debt. And there's some good debt that we have to always make sure that we seek. And so again, I want to congratulate the police department. I want to congratulate the mayor, and but most of all, congratulate the residents of Mount Vernon. This is a good day for Mount Vernon. Have a great day.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. So today, I think, launched a step forward in innovation and technology to protect our residents. We get a lot of complaints about things happening around the city, and this is a way for us to be proactive and be tuned into what's going on in the community. I think the Aware Room represents a new chapter of accountability, transparency, and smart public safety in Mount Vernon, and I'm excited for that. This isn't just about cameras, right? It's about connection. It's about collaboration with all the different parties that was mentioned by the comptroller and the mayor. And it's also about building back community trust here in Mount Vernon. We're saying yes to safety, yes to innovation, and yes to putting our residents to respond with care. We work together, everyone wins. So I want to say thank you to all the commissioners who participated and excited. I remember when Councilwoman Gleason went to Danielle, you should have seen this Aware Room. Thank you.
And if you could step forward, Mike Montez, because Mike Montez was part of that team also, right? So come on, Mike. Mike Montez is our director of the Office of Emergency Management, and so I believe he had reached out also to the city. I know we've had meetings with the city of Yonkers also that has an Aware Room, and so because Mount Vernon is kind of sandwiched in between Yonkers and New York City. What do we use the 4-5 and the 4-7, right? Oftentimes we're working with them, and then deeper into New York City, especially when there are car chases and car thefts and things of that nature, and we work closely with Yonkers. And so us having really the same systems that can easily speak with one another and staff that talk with each other is very, very important to making sure that we kind of have a contiguous safety net that we are expanding. And as you said, it's not just about cameras, and not just about cameras at all. People are saying, surveillance. Surveillance is not always a good thing. Well, again, if we had police on every corner, that would be the same as surveillance. And because police on every corner is not possible, because we can't stay up 24 hours a day, these cameras are doing the work that humans are not able to do because we don't have that level of resources. With that being said, I'm going to ask Interim Commissioner Gibson to come forward and speak a little bit further. And then after he speaks, then we will have remarks from Mr. Sam Rabati of Motorola Solutions. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm Commissioner David Gibson. It's a genuine privilege to be in front of you today as we introduce a revolutionary tool that will significantly enhance our ability to keep Mount Vernon safe. And this is through the Aware Room Real-Time Crime Center by Motorola Solutions. I'd like to thank Mayor Patterson Howard for supporting and believing in this project, Governor Hochul for funding it through the Tech grant, Congressman, I'm promoting you, City Council person Caitlin Gleason from the beginning was a big supporter of this, and the entire City Council, including Council President and the rest of the City Council for supporting us on this endeavor. This also goes with the comptroller and all the other commissioners, including Commissioner Bush. I didn't think you were going to be here, so I would have included you. But this room was DPW. DPW got this room done, and it's amazing how quick it went up, and we appreciate it from the department. I'd like to recognize some members of the department: Sergeant Ronnie Williams, Deputy Chief Greg Addison, and Senior Account Clerk Jasmine Hodge. All right? I'm sorry. I'm looking right at her.
You get nervous when you get up here.
So, in our line of work, the landscape of crime is always evolving. Today, public safety challenges require us to be more proactive and agile than ever before. With the rise of technology and data, we have an unprecedented opportunity to harness these resources in our fight against crime. However, the greater data becomes, the greater it becomes more complex. Our officers need access to real-time information, actionable insight, and seamless collaboration to respond effectively during critical incidents. This is where the Aware Room comes in. The Aware Room is designed to be a game changer for law enforcement. It serves as an integrated command center that consolidates a wealth of information from various sources, providing us with a comprehensive view of incidents as they unfold. To allow us to put data from surveillance cameras, sensor alerts, and social media feeds, creating a holistic picture of our environment. This level of situation awareness enables our officers to make informed decisions when it matters most. With powerful analytical tools, we can identify trends, hotspots, allowing us to allocate resources more effectively and anticipate potential incidents before they occur. The Aware Room fosters collaboration not only within our department, but through other agencies or our partnering agencies. These capabilities enhance our collective response to emergencies, ensuring that we are united in our efforts to serve and protect. The implementation of the Aware Room will enable us to improve our response time, increase our operation efficiency, and ultimately help us serve Mount Vernon better. In the hands of our dedicated officers, this technology will facilitate a safer environment for all our residents, businesses, and visitors. I want to express my gratitude to Motorola Solutions for their commitment to innovation in public safety and for partnering with us in this critical endeavor. The Aware Room Real-Time Crime Center represents a substantial leap forward in how we approach crime prevention and community safety. Together, we are writing a new chapter in public safety, one that prioritizes data-driven decision-making, collaboration, and above all, the safety, well-being of Mount Vernon. Thank you. I'm introducing Sam Rabati from Motorola Solutions.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
And thank you again, Madam Mayor, for your confidence in us as a company, and to your entire staff here, Commissioner Gibson, Chief Oliferts. You know, we had this vision from when we first started talking about a year ago of what we thought we could bring to the table with our technologies and with our products and solutions. And what you see here today is a culmination of that effort. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears working directly hand in hand with your folks. And you know, as we talked, even from a year ago, we talked about every city, every police department, every agency is a little different. And I think that's what we kind of bring to the table as a company, and our vast experience in the area of law enforcement technology is being able to tailor it to your community here, to your city. The police department has made great strides over the years in helping to keep this community safe. We believe with this technology, with this Aware Center that you see behind you here, you're going to continue to keep the community even safer. You mentioned bringing eyes to the scene. That's exactly how we describe this platform. As you see later when we do some of the demonstrations, that's actually what we're doing. For the personnel assigned to this room, we're putting eyes on the scene. Situational awareness, number one, first and foremost, keeping the community safe, but just as importantly, keeping the officers safe when they are responding to the incidents. So this way they understand even before they arrive to the scene what is going on.
Yep.
Critically important, and again, collaboration. You mentioned the city of Yonkers. They have their Aware Center there, and I know you had a visit there, ma'am.
Yes.
And I'm glad because you have that partnership now between the two cities where each of their Aware rooms will be sharing information as well as with other police agencies in the county. So thank you again for your confidence in us. We will continue to collaborate. We're not going anywhere after today. We're right here. We have a whole team of Motorola folks here who each play a critical role. And at the end of the day, we want nothing but success for you. So thank you.
Thank you. So as the controller stated, we've really stitched things together, funding, and I always talk about a quilt, right? Quilts are patches that when you stitch them together really work to create something that's warm, supportive, and covers. And that's the same thing between city funding, New York State funding through the LIHTC grant, the bands, American Rescue Plan funding. We were able to stitch all of these things together, and we're waiting for the state budget to be finished, and hopefully there'll be a little more LIHTC money in there. Shout out to our state representatives who are working on that budget right now. Hopefully there's something included in that, because the next thing we want to do, we have body cameras, we have dashboard cameras, we have community cameras, we have dumping cameras, we have cameras for some of our recreation centers, we have cameras around City Hall and in the police department, and now the next set of cameras that I want us to have here in the city are drones, right? Because drones are important. Drones reduce the amount of that racing through the streets to catch people, you know, and we know people are taking advantage of that, whether they're on dirt bikes or in cars. You know, police departments just are in a densely populated city like this that's very, very crowded. To pursue people is not easy, but with drone technology, we'll be able to have those eyes in the sky and reduce any type of risk of crashes, and so that will be another thing. But all of these different types of cameras and technologies all feeding into this one crime center. So we're really, really excited about that, and we're looking forward to how it continues to advance policing, safety, and the confidence in safety here in Mount Vernon. Our numbers can be reduced in Part 1 crimes, but hopefully this helps people to feel a little more safer there's a difference between statistics and how people feel. And we want to bring the statistics in line with how people are feeling about safety here in the city of Mount Vernon. And so with that being said, we're going to step back and let Mr. Rabati kind of take us through some live demonstrations of the Aware Room so people can get a better understanding for how this technology works. And then we'll have some questions and answers after that. And I just want to make sure we acknowledge, and Chief, I don't know, do you have anything to say? Our Chief Allafairs, he is the Chief of Police for the city of Mount Vernon. He oversees all of the day-to-day operations of the police departments and all of the subdivisions of the police departments and those who are in uniform. And I know you're excited about this piece of it as well.
Yes.
You want to say something?
Sure.
Okay.
First of all, I'd like to thank the mayor and the controller and the city council for investing in the police department, right? It's very difficult for us to go out and investigate crimes and if we don't have all the tools. Now, we're going to be able to not only investigate crimes, but we'll be able to decide where we're going to send our patrols out to. Different areas based on intelligence that we get, based on what the plate readers and times a day and everything else. It's really interesting. And I would like to thank Motorola and ESS. They've been with us since our radio project, and to be back here bringing us really into the future. I mean, from where I was in 1988 to now, I feel like I'm standing on the bridge of the Starship Enterprise.
You're right, you're right.
And with that said, the mayor and the leadership here have brought our police department, now we're in the forefront. We are one of the agencies now that other people are going to be looking to with this technology to see how we utilize it and what we do. So I'd like to thank you.
Thank you. So, Mr. Rabati, I guess we're going to probably step away so people can see the screens? Or you're going to do a Q&A first? Okay, I've been corrected. We're going to do a question and answer first. So, yes.
How much did it cost to have all this done, and how many cameras are there? And have you heard any concerns about the other side that might say you could be invading people's privacy, looking at stuff that you might not want to be looking at?
Well, as we said, it's about $1.8 million where we stitched together LIHTC funding that came through Governor Hochul's office with the support of our Senator Jamal Bailey and our Assemblyman Gary Bretlow. We used some monies from bands, from American Rescue Plan, which came out of Washington, D.C. in the Biden administration. And probably some small city tax dollars for the development and the creation of this room that was in the city budget through DPW. Well, when you talk about cameras, we've had cameras in Mount Vernon for a long time. These cameras in Mount Vernon are not new. The cameras in Mount Vernon just fed into the Westchester County Real-Time Crime Center, right? And they would see it and they would have eyes and then they would communicate that to us. Well, that's you know, many of them will still be connected to the county. But instead of us having to wait for them to see something and let us know, which, 30 seconds, a minute, 90 seconds can make a major difference in how we're able to respond. And so now it's fed to us directly. What do I feel about people, honestly, being concerned about eyes in the sky? Well, they want police to be everywhere. You have some people who say, well, we want less police. And then if something happens in their neighborhood, then they want to know, well, why aren't there 5 police on our block 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? Right? And so none of these cameras are looking into anyone's house in their bedroom. None of these, if you're not committing crimes, then you really shouldn't be worried about it. If you're worried about cameras, then you shouldn't travel into New York City. You shouldn't come out of your house. You shouldn't travel to Europe. You shouldn't travel to Dubai and all of the new travel spots because there are cameras everywhere. And so when you talk about civil liberties, we're not using this for anything nefarious. We're not trying to intervene. We don't care what time you take your children to school and if you get there late. We don't care about that. Now, we do care if you run a red light and if you pass a school bus whose arm is extended on your way dropping the kids off to school. So, yeah, we hope to catch those things. But anything about your personal habits and your personal movements that are not criminally related and are not breaking any of the city laws, then we're not concerned about that. And so the only people who need to be concerned are those who have been invested in criminal activities, who are taking advantage of crimes of opportunity and doing things. They should worry. Good law-abiding citizens, they shouldn't be concerned because we're not looking to abuse this information.
And what's the total amount of cameras that are in the system now? New cameras that have been added?
I don't know exactly. I know we have, 26 license plate readers and...
We have got now, license plate readers, we have 46 total. We're getting 4 have to go, still be installed, so 42 up right now. We are installing additional cameras, I think it's 15, by the end of next week. So like the mayor said, we're utilizing the cameras from the county, from the Real-Time Crime Center. So it's going to expand more as we expand this whole system.
And as we bring on the business cameras and as we work with our landlords who have more than 10 units in their building and tap their cameras in their neighborhoods into this system, like I said, it's not necessarily just all about new cameras, it's about the coordination of all of the cameras. Whether they're public cameras, private cameras, they're all in public spaces. So all of these cameras, again, are in the public right-of-way and not in the private right-of-way. So it's not an invasion of privacy, but it just increases surveillance.
Last question, do they have audio?
No, we're not, we're not looking for the sound, we're focused on the video. These are camera surveillance.
And Mayor, how many officers will be in this aware room, and is it manned 24/7?
Where is Sergeant Sobriety? He's like, I wasn't expecting to speak, but that's leadership. Come on.
At this moment, we'll be manning with about 4 personnel, and we were looking at least minimum 16 hours, 7 days a week. Hopefully, we'll grow into 24/7.
But the cameras will be on 24/7.
Yes.
The camera's on 24/7, and with the AI tools kind of will pull out footage and give alerts to our police division, which is 24 hours, 7 days a week, as well as our dispatch, to let us know if there's certain activities. I mean, fights or shootings, those things are going to pop out and notice us right away. So it's not just someone sitting there looking at a video screen, it's also the integration of the AI tools, which will be 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Okay, any other questions? All right, so with that being said, Mr. Rabati, it is your show.
So I think what might be helpful is we'll just give kind of an overview of when we use the term aware, and that is one of the principal solutions you will see here. It's called Command Central Aware from Motorola. And a lot of what you heard, okay, from license plate readers to our safety cameras that are going to be located throughout the city, computer-aided dispatch information, analytic alerts, just a number of different data streams, video streams, with the ultimate goal of it all coming in under a single platform, what we like to call a single pane of glass. And what does that do to the end user, whether it's the police officer sitting here or the analyst? It's allowing them to focus their attention on one screen. So this way they see everything as it's happening in real time. We mentioned the number of cameras. I believe we had obviously pre-existing cameras here from the county that we're feeding into the camera. Now the city has their own cameras, something in the vicinity of, I believe, 120 cameras. No human being has the ability to focus in on 120 cameras live streaming in. And what our solution does, what you see in front of you here called focus of attention, it allows the end user to just monitor alerts that are coming from this system here. The hexagon shapes that you see here on the screen, those represent cameras. And the different color icons will represent different signals to the end user, whether the camera is operating properly. If there's some type of alert coming in from the camera, because of the AI that's built into the system, it'll automatically start to live stream from that camera. I think the other exciting thing that's been done here under the leadership of the mayor is involving the community, specifically the businesses. So what you have here, for example, are cameras what we call our safety hubs. They're devices that connect the business cameras and some of the other community cameras directly into this center. Not for monitoring all the time, but in the event of a 911 call or some type of an emergency that exists at that particular business, that the police department now has the ability to immediately access that stream. Again, as you mentioned, Mayor, seconds count. It can mean the difference between, at times, unfortunately, between life and death. So the folks in this room have the ability to immediately ascertain what is going on, whether it's at a business, whether it's at a public building, and immediately be able to react to it. What you see in front of you here is a demo server. For obvious reasons, we don't want to show live data coming in. But as the demo server, what you see on the lower left-hand corner here is what we call an event monitor. That's all of your 911 calls. That's all of your information coming in from computer-aided dispatch, what we call CAD. Information or hits from license plate readers. Those are alerts that come in, whether it involves a stolen vehicle or it could be a victim's vehicle that was involved in a carjacking. The police department now will have the ability to see within seconds of that alert coming in where that alert occurred, which camera. It'll immediately center on the upper left-hand corner, which is a map, and immediately be able to show where the nearest patrol unit is so they can react accordingly. You don't want a unit that's on the other side of the city having to respond to something that may just have occurred right here in front of this building. So again, situational awareness for folks to know where their people are, where the incident is taking place, if it's an alert from a camera because something unusual is going on, or again, as we mentioned, a stolen vehicle, they'll immediately be able to see it on the map, see it in the event monitor, and where we have cameras located, so the operator has the ability to click on individual cameras for real-time awareness, up to 16 camera streams at the same time. Or the AI that's built into the system, especially on those high-priority events, very serious incidents, the AI will do the work for you and be able to pull up those live streams. So I'm going to give you an example. We'll do something that's near and dear to me, especially in an officer emergency type situation. We're going to demonstrate on this demo server what that alert looks like to show you how the AI works. So John, so what just occurred on one of the Motorola radios, the emergency button is depressed, indicating it's an officer emergency. The officer needs immediate assistance. Again, within a dispatch center, they may not necessarily know right away what's going on. They hear the audible tone. They know the officer's in trouble. They're going to try to reach the officer, but perhaps they may not be able to respond on the radio. The folks in this room will immediately know, as you saw, the red line on the bottom indicating emergency. It immediately on its own, the AI that's built into the system immediately centered it right on the map. What you see in front of you there is police headquarters. It shows the location of the emergency, also showing, as you see on the right-hand side, MVPD, the nearest police unit to support that officer, as well as what you see, the blue shield here. Indicates a body-worn camera. Now, this is a different body-worn camera. This is a Motorola camera that we want to show you for demonstration purposes, but it immediately starts to live stream. So let me show you what that looks like. Some good connectivity in here, we'll let that pick up. But generally, all of this is occurring simultaneously with the emergency activation of that button. I know we were having some Wi-Fi capability issues in here earlier. We'll come back to that, but just keep it on. There we go. And again, because this is a demo server, so I'm connected to the Wi-Fi, but the personnel in this room will be connected directly into, through the Ethernet cable. So that'll immediately happen. So everything that you just saw here, no intervention on my part. We're letting the artificial intelligence that's built into the system do the work for you. So this way, the analyst or the police officer can deal with what's important at that time, getting help to that individual. You can deactivate that, John. We'll just use another example here of a call that's coming in, a serious incident. Now, I am doing all of this manually because this is a demonstration server, but typically what would happen is this would occur automatically. So again, it would alert, it's a high priority incident that's coming across the CAD system. It's going to center on its own, and it's immediately going to activate cameras that are nearby. This happens to be in a business. So again, you're letting the rules engine that's built here, and again, the police department will be able to determine how they want the system to react to different incidents. So in this particular situation, we're telling the system it's a high priority event. We want the cameras to start rolling immediately, okay? We use another example here. This is based on a 911 call, so as calls are coming in, and they're coming into CAD, into the dispatch center, the personnel in this room will be able to see the nature of that call. They'll be able to click on that icon and be able to get any and all information related to that 911 caller. I know some of the future advancements, again, this is only the beginning of this aware center here, this aware room. As we told our colleagues from the police department, you're going to grow with this platform. And I believe we've discussed in the future months here of having the ability to monitor and have the transcription of that call coming through in real time so the personnel in this room can see and hear right away what's going on with that 911 call. I'll show you an LPR hit, what that looks like. So what I'm doing here is just for demonstration purposes, and the police department also has this ability too. They have LPR, license plate reader technology, built into their mobile phones, the department issued phones. So what I'm going to do is to mimic a license plate reader camera in the city. So again, think of a victim of a carjacking. Their vehicle was just taken from them at gunpoint, and the call's coming in. That plate information will be entered into the system, so if the vehicle's picked up anywhere within the city, or it could even be a stolen vehicle, which obviously it is in that case, you'll be able to see when the camera detects that plate, it'll immediately appear here. So we're going to show you what that looks like using this mobile application. So what you will see here, close this out. Keep grabbing the wrong mouse. Okay. So what this is depicting is a license plate hit on the vehicle. If it was a stolen, if it was, again, victim of a carjacking, or any other type of alerts that the department, and they will be the ones to decide what they want to see, whether it's a suspended registration or some other type of alert that's coming in. But generally what we usually recommend is, again, on those high priority type of incidents. In this case, this is a stolen vehicle. It pins to the top of the event monitor. You saw automatically it's centered on the map. It's showing nearby units. If there were any city cameras nearby, it would automatically show it on the right-hand side there. Now, what's critically important with the license plate reader, I mentioned earlier about the sharing ability for other aware users. In the case of City of Yonkers, they have a very robust aware room also, and they'll be able to share all of this information. So individuals involved in illegal activities crossing the border between Mount Vernon and Yonkers, they'll be able to share that information. And in this case, a hit on a license plate reader immediately centering on the map. The core takeaway here for everyone here is essentially what we're doing is, as Madam Mayor, you mentioned earlier, a lot of the technologies existed here. What we're doing is we're bringing it all together under a single pane of glass. That's the key, because we are shaving minutes off of a response to a call, more than seconds. We're shaving minutes because the end user is immediately going to know what's going on, immediately be able to respond to it, and let the units responding know what's going on. That's the key difference. If you're shaving a minute to a minute and a half to 2 minutes off of a call and have your officers respond immediately, that makes all the world difference. So that's what this center is. We can do some other stuff on a sidebar. I don't want to take too much time, just a very high overview, a lot more capabilities with this system, and the department is going to be able to keep growing with this platform with additional technologies.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rabati. And, you know, one of the other things that I wanted to say about this will also become a training tool. It'll become a training tool for our patrol division and all of our other divisions as we're able to see in real time how we're responding, where we might need additional training. As the chief said, it will allow us to interact with our other intelligence systems and our GIS to say, well, this is a hot spot and these are things that are happening, and we need to make sure that we are dispatching more police to this area, or that we're moving resources to another place. And so it's all coming together to work together for the safety of Mount Vernon and for our law-abiding citizens and our stakeholders. Our city is a very dense city. It is the 8th largest city in the state of New York, and it is in the top 15 densest cities in the country. And so this will just be another tool to help us to keep our community safe and to utilize technology in doing government work as we are beginning to do in so many of our other departments. So thank you everyone for coming today. And with that being said, thank you all for your part, and we are more aware. Here in the city of Mount Vernon, we're more aware.